So good afternoon everyone, it is Mitchell aka The Walk in Orlando and welcome back over here to Disney's Animal Kingdom. We actually haven't been outside of Epcot to a Disney park in a decent amount of time, but we decided to come on back over to Disney Animal Kingdom because it's a little bit later in the day, so it shouldn't be that busy, be able to get on some of those attractions, maybe even Flight of Passage, maybe Navi River Journey, and definitely going to try to get on to Expedition Everest. So, but what's even more exciting is that the mobile magic has officially updated to Android systems. So now today I will be using my Google Pay for my pass. So I'm gonna get to show you guys that. It'll be really fun and exciting. It's gonna be a good day. Just usually evenings out at Animal Kingdom are usually really nice. It also does help that there's a lot of people leaving and not very many people going into the park. So like I said, I gotta get my wallet all pulled up here before I get up to here, so then I can get it all scanned up so I can use this. Alright, so I got my pass all ready. Hopefully it works. Hello.
And that works.
Perfect, thank you. So just walking up through the Oasis, which is the front section of Animal Kingdom. And as we turn the corner, sight we haven't seen in a good amount of time, it's gonna be the Tree of Life. Only kind of wish it was a more picture perfect day, but unfortunately it is not that. It's been very cloudy. It very much feels like it's going to rain at any moment, but you know what, a rainy day at Disney is better than any other day like if you're at work. Well, then walking into Asia because we are heading straight over to Expedition Everest. Something I've not ridden in a good amount of time because it is only a 15-minute wait. They are loading every row, so even though it's 15 minutes, I bet it's gonna be less than that. Plus, walking through that queue is very much amazing. The whole story behind Expedition Everest is amazing. Plus, if you come around the corner here, you usually can kind of see it in the background, but not anymore actually. All right, so we are in line for Expedition Everest. However, we are way far down, so the entrance is actually closer to here. But it's saying it's 30 minutes. So we will see if it actually is 30 minutes or not. So we got in line, it is 4:40 right now. So if it says 30 minutes, we should be on the ride by 5:10. If we're there any earlier, that'll be good. Took us 15 minutes for the line, so not too bad. Not too bad for Expedition Everest. I haven't been on Expedition Everest in so long. I'm so excited for this. Oh. Only downside is that, the lifts. This has the best drop on any attraction in Walt Disney World or any Disney park. so just got off Expedition Everest. Love it still, amazing ride. But I did find a fun fact. So about 7 years ago, me and my mom came to Walt Disney World, and one of the very first ride we rode 7 years ago was Expedition Everest. And we ride in the very front row. We waited for the front, and it broke down, and we actually had to be evac'd off of it. So that was over 7 years ago, about a year before I moved to Florida. So it was kind of a fun thing. But also, because Expedition Everest is celebrating 15 years, they have special shirts that they are now offering to buy. And I actually just bought it, and I'm going to show you guys really quick what it looks like. So here's my shirt. So I love it. Says 15 years of roaming with the snowman. It's got the Yeti. It says Expedition Everest, but the 1 in the 5, but it has an I with a 1 and S as a 5 because 15 years. I love it. Says established 2006, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. It's a really cool shirt. I really like this a lot. It is $37, but they do offer discounts and everything for it. But totally excited to rock this new shirt. So we did get a return time to go do Avatar Flight of Passage, since I am with Kayla as well. So we are going to go over there. I think we're going to try to go in a little bit early because I think it's not till 5:30. It's like 5:15 right now. So we're going to try to walk over there and see if maybe they'll let us in. We're not banking on it. We're pretty sure they're going to tell us to wait, but we can see. All right, so now that it is a little bit after 5, we're actually going to stop and get something to eat. And so we are mobile ordering from Flame Tree Barbecue, which is one of my top 5 quick service places to eat at Walt Disney World. So I ended up just getting and I'll show you guys when we get there. I got a barbecue sandwich with some french fries, like a pulled pork sandwich with some french fries. So one of the tricks I will tell you is if you mobile order and you happen to be a little close, like we're just in Asia, we were right next to Yak and Yeti coming from Expedition Everest. And so we ordered, well, it takes about 5 to 6 minutes to then prepare your order. So one of the things we do, and this, I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you get there just so that it doesn't get ready before you're there. But if you get up there or you're almost close, you can actually stop. You can actually go ahead and hit I'm here, prepare my order. So hopefully by the time you get there, it's already ready for you since you pay ahead of time and everything. So like I said, I just got my sandwich, got some french fries, and ask for a couple cups of water because it is very humid today. All right, so got my pulled pork sandwich. Actually, doesn't have any slaw on it because I didn't really feel like having any coleslaw, but they do give you barbecue sauce because unfortunately they still have all the condiment stations are all currently shut down still. But it gave a good size of barbecue sauce. Get a couple cups of water because it's very humid, so trying to stay nice and hydrated. It really feels like I've not been to Animal Kingdom in years now, feels like. Even though I don't think it's been that long since the last time we came. But now that we have eaten, we got an Expedition Everest out of the way, the next big item, so we gotta go ride Flight of Passage because it is time for our return time. Well, Kayla's return time, I'm just with her. And I think we're gonna attempt to try to do the celebration of the Festival of the Lion King, which just started back up. And of course, walking over the bridge into the Valley of Moara as we enter Pandora, the world of Avatar. Still think it's a really cool, I really like this land a lot. It definitely was a good attempt and testing ground for everything because the lighting here at night is something you don't see anywhere else. And you can definitely see where they use some of the stuff they've learned to then use it over at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge on the planet Batuu. So, but I love, this has, like I said, one of the best attractions in Flight of Passage. Alright, now to do Flight of Passage, which is an amazing attraction. And I love watching the Imagineering story on it because they said that the original design was 1,000 times, like, was way more intense than the version that they ended with. And I really want to ride that super intense version they have because it sounds absolutely, it's so much fun. Because even James Cameron had to be the one to tell them to maybe tone it back a little bit. Also, I'll tell you what, when you walk up here, it's one of the best views. Oh, so amazing. So the only downside to doing the disability pass that Kayla has is you miss pretty much the entire queue. Now on a day like today where it's been posting 55 to an hour, I don't mind missing it, but man, you have to experience the queue at least one time, especially when you go into the lab, you see the life-size avatar.
The way you're going to do this is by being matched to something called an avatar. They're created by blending human DNA and Navi DNA. Once we match you to an avatar, thanks to a special link chair, your mind will be able to control that avatar. Using avatars to fly this way was all figured out by my boss, Dr. Jackie Ogden. She leads our science team, which is part of the Pandora Conservation Initiative, and we're here in the Valley of Moara studying banshees and their environment. Let's watch this piece by Dr. Ogden, who runs the program.
Still very much an amazing attraction stuff. It's kind of lost the wow factor because of like when you go on some like Rise of Resistance, you really lose the wow factor, but it's still an amazing attraction though. I mean, I can't overstate how amazing it is. Well, from the time we got on to Flight of Passage to now, it looks like the line has completely been sucked all the way back into Pandora. So it's a good sign that later in the day it does seem to go down. I mean, I have determined that coming later in the day, you can get way more done because people are leaving and there's less going on. Now, the only other thing that we have left to do is over in Africa. So we have the brand, we have to go check out the celebration of Festival of the Lion King, which is the modified version of the normal Festival of the Lion King show. So we're interested to see how they do the show now. Okay, so apparently this is way more popular than anticipated, but also they're not loading full shows because they have to keep the distance between people. So the line right now stretches all the way down, and the people we were talking to, because they're asking about the disability pass, found out some information on that. So if you have a disability pass if you have a disability pass with Disney, they said that you need to come about an hour to hour and a half before the show you want to go to get your return time so you can actually come back. Because right now they have closed off the return time because it hit that certain threshold, because the capacity is very limited because they're not loading the entire theater for the show. So just unfortunately means right now can't go see Festival of the Lion King, so it kind of sucks. Didn't even think about that when we came in. We probably should have come over and done that, but we just assumed that like maybe like before, where you can get here about 30 to 45 minutes before the show and you get a really spot. But it's what it is. You kind of live and learn just how things go now. Always just kind of learning as you go. And we're gonna come on up to the Kilimanjaro Safari because they do run the safari all the way up till 7 p.m. So the very last truck will leave at 7, which is kind of funny because the park does close at 7. But I think what they're doing is they're trying to make sure that people stagger their way out so that the buses don't get overwhelmed with all the people, so they keep that social distancing like they're supposed to. Now it does say 45 minutes. We'll check in, see if we can do the disability pass. So we did get a return time for Kilimanjaro Safari, so it was about 6:15, 6:20 when we got it. So they told us we come back at 6:45. So we're gonna try to go over, try to do Expedition Everest really quickly, and then walk our way back over to do Kilimanjaro Safari as probably hopefully one of the last trucks of the night. All right, up to Expedition Everest for our second ride of the day. It says 10 minutes, but it looks like we are walking straight on to the attraction.
I told you, Hunter! They stopped me. I want to get out. I don't want to do it anymore.
We've got to evaluate all of this.
There we go.
7 years afterwards.
7 years to the date.
Yeah, 7 years to the day. You got to evacuate it again.
I've not ridden the back car in a long time, and I forgot how much it, because like we went over the first little lift hill, and kind of like gave way more airtime over it, and then actually we stopped on the main lift for a few minutes. Probably just they were letting the trains clear ahead of them because they may have backed up on each other, or they were putting trains away because it was getting close to closing time. But all I know is we go down the big hill, and I feel like I was getting flung out of my seat. So I still like the front row. The front row is still my favorite on that attraction.
Now while we're out there, I'm going to ask, please do not call out, whistle, or try to attract the animals to the truck in any way. That's for their safety as well as ours. Throw your hands up, that was the time. And now that that's out of our system, we're entering the Little Ituri Forest. Here a lot of animals depend on natural camouflage for protection. If you look all the way to that back right corner, there's an okapi back there. Now the white stripes on their legs make them look a lot like zebras, but they are related to giraffes. And if you get a look at the face and head, you might see that family resemblance. Very long prehensile tongue, just like giraffes have. Males will have a couple of short horn-like projections above their eyes called ossicones, like giraffes as well. Black rhinos can weigh about 3,000 pounds fully grown. There's another one way back to the left. Very endangered animals, only about 5,000 of them left in the entire world. Now, the horns on rhinos are not actual horns. They're not attached to their skulls, and they're made of keratin, like our hair and fingernails, instead of bone. Look at the upper lip, by the way. It's almost like a little tiny elephant trunk. It's prehensile. They can use that for grabbing leaves and off of branches and bushes. And Coley cattle coming up right here on the right side. This is a bull. There's some females off to the right as well. And check out the horns. Their horns are made of a honeycomb material inside, and blood flows in there. They're like radiators that regulates their body temperature. This guy's horns are a little bit over 5 feet long each. And look at the span of these things. Pretty amazing. On the left, there's a hyena right there on the grass. There's another one up on top of the den. We're going to be on either side of the path here. During their migration, some herds have been spotted numbering in the tens of thousands. They will make up the largest, most densely packed herds of all mammals, except for one, and that would be us. When wildebeest go to sleep, they actually lay down in a star pattern. Every wildebeest facing outwards. That way, when they get the alarm, if there's a predator coming, they can all jump up and run straight out without having to worry about bumping into each other. There's a young giraffe just ahead on the left. Giraffes are the tallest animals. They top out at around 20 feet. Out here, these are Maasai giraffes. They have this irregular, kind of jagged pattern on their coat. When they're standing around in a group like this is called a tower of giraffes. If that group was on the move, it would be called a journey of giraffes. Look all the way back by the clay wall. There's two baby giraffes right next to each other. How cute are they? They're both females. They're both right around 8 months old. I think 8.5 months maybe. Now, giraffes have one of the largest hearts of any land animal, one of the highest regular blood pressures. She's about 4.5 years old. She's not technically a baby, but she is the baby of the herd. I still remember when she was a little teeny tiny 300-pound newborn, so I still think of her that way. Lots of dirt on all of them. They spray that on. It's like natural sunscreen. And you'll see the ears flap. There we go. Right up you. Love it. Now, he knows it too. I think he knows exactly how cool he is. Look at that. Let's see who does a yawn. Now, if you're going to post that on social media, hashtag best affair driver ever, and it's an option. I'm not going to remind you my name is Louis. That's tacky. Look at that. Look at this. There's a mom and her baby rhino right in front of us.
It's Ranger.
Now we're going to make a point not to make any loud sounds as they can react, especially when mom has her baby next to her. Look at him. He is adorable. He's just starting to get his horn. He was coming up right behind. We're just going to kind of squeeze by here nice and slow and quietly. Look at the female lions looking on the left, by the way. Look at that. Now, trust me, she's looking out of pure curious. Here.
I will say, doing the safari later in the evening was actually really nice because we got to see a lot of the baby animals, including the new baby rhino and Ranger, which essentially was just right in front of the truck when we came right up. And then at the very end, right when we left, he kind of just trotted away from everyone. So, and then we got to see all the baby giraffes as well. So It's a very good tour. And then we got a really good shot of the male lion up on the Kobe Rock Formation. So I was really sad we couldn't go see the new celebration of the Festival of the Lion King show, unfortunately. But we do now know how to go see it now with the way it's set up. Apparently, literally like the shows fill up really quickly. So they do have a lot of shows throughout the day. They even had a show all the way up till 7. So good to know for future when we come back the next time. Alright, so now that Animal Kingdom has officially closed for the day, actually it's been closed for about 30 minutes, but that's just because we went on the safari at the very end of the day. Overall, really good night, evening out. I mean, 2.5 hours. We did Expedition Everest twice, got to go on Flight of Passage, got to go on Kilimanjaro Safari, and just overall, just a really fun day out here to Animal Kingdom. I haven't been out here in a while. Loved evening trips out here. So with all that being said, we do head up from a fantastic trip out to Disney's Animal Kingdom. We'll see y'all next time.